You're very welcome back to Saturday Night Lights here in Pearse Stadium. It's the Secours Galway Senior Football Championship. It's a double-header of action here under the lights in Pearse Stadium. We're all still catching our breath after the first thrilling game of football where a Peter Cook-inspired Mark Cullen defeated Tuam Stars by a point after an epic second half. But this very much is the centre of attention for all of Galway football tonight. Indeed, I think a lot of viewers from around the country, indeed further afield as well. It's a game everyone's been talking about. It is Corofin versus Salthill Knocknacarra, the reigning champions, against absolutely littered Galway starred Salthill Knocknacarra side. They have 3 All-Star nominees, 1 Young Footballer of the Year nominee, 6 in the Galway Senior Football Championship. But they are knocking on the door against a Corofin side who are trying to go for 3 in a row. They're the all-conquering side in Galway football. We will look at the teams in full. We'll start with Corofin. Indeed, the reigning champions, although they do have a change of management this year, where Gary Delaney has taken control. Bernard Power is in goal. The full-back line now is 21 Conor Carsons, 3 Carl Silk and 4 Conor Cunningham. And it is the half-back line then. Captain of the side is Dylan McHugh, 6 is Liam Silk and 7 is Kieran Malloy. Middle of the field then, 25 Brian Cogger and 9 Patrick Egan. Egan in particular, and indeed Cogger, have been recent additions back into the side and made a big impact. Another reintroduction back, All-Star in 2008. For a long time he was Galway's sole All-Star in some years, but Ian Burke is back. He starts at wing forward wearing 24. Mike Farr starts at centre forward alongside him, who was an injury doubt, but Jason Leonard starts. He's their placed kicker. Inside line then, 13 is Dara Silk, 14 is Michael Lundy, and 15 is the returning Jack McCabe. So Corofin starting to get their sides back on track as we wait and see the Salthill Knocknacarra side, and there might be some further changes on this one to come just yet. It looks like Rob Walser has been a late addition into the sides. It's a pretty much scramble the numbers sort of situation here as well. So in goal wearing 1 will be Donald Sullivan. Change now. 19 will be a cornerback. That's Derek Conneely. 6 is Evan Wynn. He is at fullback. Alongside him, number 2, Owen Deely. Half back line then is number 17 is Mark Mannion. Number 5 is Aaron Mannion, and number 7 is Carl Sweeney. He was the man of the match in their quarter-final victory. Centre of the field in is 11, John Marr, one of the All-Star nominees. Alongside him is Michael Kitt. Half a forward line then, number 4, Paddy Kitt. Number 12 at centre forward is Daniel O'Flaherty. Alongside him is number 15, Young Footballer of the Year nominee Matthew Thompson. Inside line then, number 14, Robert Finnerty, another All-Star nominee. 24 at full forward is Charlie Power, and now it looks like number 30 is Rob Walser. And Eddie, those names, it takes a bit of a shuffling back and forth there in terms of the number, but there's no doubting the firepower that's on both respective teams here tonight.
You can see it from the off, Jonathan, the depth that's in the side. Like Kieran Brady we saw was excellent all through the group stage. Patrick Egan has come back in there. Brian Cogger into the middle of the pitch. On the Salthill Knocknacarra side, Tom O'Culhan, he's been left in reserve, I know, carrying a knock, but again it shows the depth. I think Jack McCabe is another on the Corofin side. And like the first game, it's that subs bench that might be the difference. There's going to be fine margins, I'd expect, today. I know last year's semi-final there was a lot more between the sides, but I'd expect, from looking out at Salthill Knocknacarra, they look like they're here, they're focused. John Boylan is putting them through their pre-match routine here. They look more focused. They would have known and been disappointed last year in Tuam Stadium. The game was away from them after 20 minutes. I'd expect this game will be a lot more in the melting pot for longer periods, and it makes for a really good spectacle. There's a brilliant crowd here in Pearse Stadium. The lights are on and it's fully dark now, and again, like we touched on, your best 4 teams from this year's championship here to entertain the crowds from their supporters, but also the neutrals, and it makes for a really, really good game.
Yeah, certainly the eyes of the country are on this one. A huge game to look forward to. But just a note on that one, it's been referenced a good bit in the build-up. But last year, down in Tuam Stadium, on a normal Sunday afternoon, it was a highly fancied Salthill Knocknacarra side who got blown apart, the truth be told, at the start of the game by Corofin. How much is that going to be in their ears? Finnear Hanley there, marching up and down. There's a lot of pressure on his side tonight.
There is. They'll want a big performance. They'll know they have 6 county players in their ranks, and if they're to get the performances out of them, they'll know that they'll be very much well within this contest. They'll be well within the Frank Fox conversation too, but they need to perform here this evening.
First, we will have our Levine. So there you have it. It's all awaiting us here under the lights, Saturday night lights in Pearse Stadium. Where else would you want to be? It's a powerhouse of Galway football coming together here. Corofin, who have their eye on getting 3 in a row, versus very much an up and coming and star glittered Salthill Knocknacarra side.
Yep.
The blue of Salthill Knocknacarra, the yellow of Corofin, and they all go head to head here on beautiful surroundings, Eddie.
Yeah, really, very much so. We touched on the sides. We were here for the St James's Salthill Knocknacarra. I think one change, Paddy Kitt has come in for Niall Hanaho. That's the only change from the quarter-final. He was really good when he came in, and we saw how well Salthill Knocknacarra finished in that game. And Corofin, on the other hand, very much to the fore in terms of some of the big names are back in that side, like Patrick Egan, who was really good in the quarter-finals also.
And so the referee for today is Shane Curley. He's looking around at the last of the players to make sure that everyone is in their respective positions. Ciara Malloy is hovering on the sideline here, waiting to burst forward if sides get possession. I think there's a bib going to have to go on here. Donald O'Sullivan is a yellow goalkeeping kit, a little bit too close to the Corofin side, so he stuck a bib on here under the lights. He's now on the orange, and Shane Curley's happy that we can proceed with the action. Looks like a push straight away. They coming together there, and that is a battle to keep an eye on. So many battles up and down, but Patrick Egan against John Maher. It was Egan who came out the better last year. Maher has been outstanding in the last 18 months in particular for Salthill Knocknacarra. We're on the attack straight away down towards the Horseborn and Troy, and it's trying to mandy away the straight through. The ball has come back, it's recycled. Shot comes in straight away from a difficult angle. Oh my absolute days, what a start to the ball game here in Salthill.
A massive score. I think it was Robert Finnerty who scored it on his preferred left foot, but Salthill Knocknacarra will have known from last year they'll need to start really, really well, and what better finish than All-Star Robert Finnerty to open the scoring. And the Salthill home crowd here will be delighted with that start. Yeah,
just to give anyone an indication, the usual Salthill breeze is put to one side, so pretty much a level playing field. We saw 2 pointers, one apiece in the first game. Peter Cook with a monster to swing the momentum of his side back. Shane McGlinchey tried the same, was arguably an even better kick, but his side came up a point short. Peter Cook at 1 pointer was probably even better again in terms of the effort of the game, but now it's far in possession of the football. We've only played a minute and 10 seconds, but Salthill Knocknacarra, through that earlier sighter from Robert Finnerty, through a difficult angle, sees his side lead by a point, no score. Dylan McHugh now, who captains the side, sprays about on the left hand side. There's a big clog of players in the middle zone that allows potentially a bit of movement. Hard progressing comes on over there, half a turnover, but it is Corofin who keep on possession here as they work their way through now in a standing position as they loft the ball in. Oh, it's a clever little ball as it tries to make its way through here. Corofin trying to operate an opportunity to try and get an equaliser. Shot comes in, it's an awful angle. Is it going to hang in over the right the side? It's going to hang out for 45. I would suggest it has. It bounced off one of the Salthill players there under the crowd. Might have been Owen Dealey who's underneath that one. Skips out. Bernard Power is thinking about it, but I think he's going to leave it here. Lundy has possession of football.
Probably Leonard, maybe.
Yeah, Leonard might come over as well. He's an option.
Dara Silk.
Dara Silk, yeah. They've quite a few. The list could go on and on. Like one of those games around a table, you just keep reciting players and the whole way through. But it will be Dara Silk to try and tie up proceedings here in Salthill under the lights, trying to get his side's first score of the game. His left boot is usually trusty. He's 45. He's pretty much as central as you could get, just a yard past the right hand side post. Looks like he's going to put the foot through this one, and it's curled over beautifully. And what two exceptional scores, one apiece from either side, and we haven't played 3 minutes of football, 1 point apiece.
Yeah, good response from Corofin right from the resultant score from Robert Finnerty. Bernie Power finds Kieran Malloy with a really good kick out. And the kick-outs are going to be important because we know Donal O'Sullivan came under pressure from St James in the quarter-final. And it'll be important. He's won his first one and got it away. So
they're on the attack now. It's straight away. It's Salthill Knocknacarra trying to punch the ball in towards the corner, where it's taken up by Finnerty. Finnerty now spins around. He's on the 21. Recycles back to Daniel O'Flaherty. He's usually good from this situation. He strikes with the left. Oh, have a bit at that. Curls it over the maroon spot in Pearse Stadium. 3 stunning scores we've witnessed so far in the opening 3.5 minutes. Salthill Knocknacarra leading by 2 points to 1.
Yeah, Daniel O'Flaherty again, but interesting duel between Robert Finnerty and his county teammate Liam Silk. That's going to be one to watch. Again, Bernie Power gets his kick out of the way, but what a score from Daniel O'Flaherty. So influential in so many scores in the quarter, but didn't score himself, so he'll be delighted to get an early score off his preferred left.
Corofin attacked himself. Liam Silk drove forward with that one. Backwards the recycled possession of the football now into a central zone where Dylan McHugh now looks to charge forward. The game has been played at a blistering pace so much so far. A lot of people thought about the new rules and the impact it might make, because both sides here like to play a bit of football, as we've seen so far. Ball is along the floor there, bodies fly in. Can they get the turnover? It's come out. Corofin have it, they lose it. Salthill have it. Beautiful little chip up it under a lot of duress there as possession comes out now. It's Salthill Knocknacarra looking to drive forward. They solo up just shy of halfway. Pressure comes on now from Kieran Malloy. Is that a little bit too eager? It is. They'll come back here. Curly will come back, a little push off the ball there as well. So back for the early infringement. But the tempo, Eddie, of this game, it's not even gone 5 minutes, but it's off the scales.
Yeah, we saw the first game, though. It probably took a while to I suppose spar each other and tease each other out, but this game is right from the off. It has the feel of a county final already. They know each other very, very well. Lots of personal duels out there. You touched on John Maher and Patrick Egan in the middle, Robert Finnerty and Liam Silk, and right throughout the pitch there's personal duels, and ultimately each person in those duels will want to come out on top. And again, you see Daniel O'Flaherty, county star, again links up with a really good score early on.
Nearly change here as well. It looks like Dylan Canny has been introduced. I don't see a Corofin player down. Jason Leonard, oh, this is cruel. I talked about in the build-up how he was an injury doubt. 5 minutes and 7 seconds he's departed. That is a cruel blow, but personally for the footballer, but even more so for Corofin. Their place kicker hasn't lasted 5 minutes.
Big loss, and you can see how disappointed he is. He knows he gave it a chance, he tried it, and when someone's doubtful, you're probably better off go with them from the off, because if you bring him on and he goes, it's 2 subs, and we've but again, Dylan Canley, a good sub to bring in, but Jason Leonard, a big loss after just 5 minutes on the clock.
Carl Segg's through ball is intercepted. Salthill Knocknacarra now build from the centre back position, trying to come forward. 6 minutes gone here in the first half in Pearse Stadium. Salthill Knocknacarra lead by 2 points to 1. Lively start so far though, and it is Salthill Knocknacarra on the attack themselves, making an open bit of country down the right hand side, still on the go, about to break the 21 in towards the corner. The go. Finnerty's going to go for the second occasion. Robert Finnerty, if this goes over, he'll take the roofs off. It won't. It tails off just at the last second. I think he thought that was over.
Yeah, you could see the way he was bending his neck. It wasn't that far away, but he probably acknowledged it was wide. That was 2 point shot as well, so it'll just show you it's well within his range. So they'll need to tighten up on Robert Finnerty, because like we touched on, the 2 points are well within his range.
So Bernard Power now goes over on the right hand side. Canny goes up, but it's won by Salthill Knocknacarra. Now onwards they go, driving forward possession. Back on the right, the shot's been taken. Oh, have a bit of that. The scores are just starting to fly over the bar here. Salthill Knocknacarra now leading by 3 points to 1, but another stunning score.
Charlie Power.
Charlie Power has got off the mark here as well. but just the pace that Salthill Knocknacarra are dealing with. They won the breaking ball, Power come back, put the boot through it beautifully, and it sails over.
Really good combination. Daniel Flaherty pats it down to Walser and Charlie Power, who's been excellent. We covered the first game that Salthill played early in the year, I think, against Mount Ballymilan. He was really, really good. He's impressed me throughout the championship, and that's a good score, and it'll settle him into the semi-final too.
Bit of crossing off the ball there, sees a Salthill player down the ground, and it's been punished here as well. Brian Cogger initially had got the short kick out off Bernard Power. The basketball type one, I think there's a lot of potential basketball coaching maybe allegedly going on in the Salthill Knocknacarra setup, but this time they're on the receiving end of it. One of those where off the ball the lad just clocks another. It's been punished here as well. And the way Robert Finnerty has been shooting, particularly from around the spot here as well, and this is a two-pointer as well, Eddie. I said the score a couple of moments ago would take the roof off Pearse Stadium. This one might do similar sort of damage.
It's a big one. It was just a coming together, and to be fair, I don't think Cathal Silk had any complaints, and well spotted by Shane Curley, or maybe assisted by his linesman, but a big score, and it'll be a big two-pointer to punish a small bit of ill discipline, which is unusual for Corofin.
So here comes Finnerty, the All-Star nominee. Hits it high, hits it up, and reach for that orange flag straight away. No, they've just gone for one. Surely that's two. The umpire puts it down, put up the orange one, and let it fly up in the Salthill sky. Because Salthill Knocknacarra, they lead by 5 points to 1, and Finnerty is on it.
He certainly is on it. We touched on it in the quarter-final. Probably hadn't found his range into the big breeze early on, but like he had been injured for large parts of the group phases. You touched on it, Jonathan. He's very much on it. That's 3 scores from 3 attempts, one wide, but he's very much in the game. And Corofin, like we touched on earlier, will need to tighten up on him.
Yeah, Conor Cunningham did well, won the broken ball now, and it's sprayed over on the right-hand side there by Brian Cogger. Now the attack, the ball has been put in by Kieran Malloy. It's a little bit over the top though, and it's going to dribble out of play. Technically a wide ball, but not really a shot. It was more of a pass into the corner. But Finian Hanley, he's down in front of us there having a conversation. I think it might be Army as well, is it, that he's having a conversation with one of his backroom staff. They'll be very pleased to have the opening 9 minutes gone. They lead by 5 points to 1, but it's not just a scoreboard, it's both facets of the game that they're quite dominant on so far.
Yeah, they seem to be winning a lot of the early duels, and Corofin, unlike them, they seem to be forcing it. That's 2 turnovers for them, one carried wide and the other was turned over, and they've won the kick out again from Donald O'Sullivan. Yeah,
it was brought on there by Carl Sweeney, and Maher, who won the ball, is down the ground. Sumo scoops the ball up. Here could be a goal scoring opportunity if they can put the way through. Backwards to go. Happy takes the shot, the goal into the back of the net. We said Salthill had started good. We said Finnerty started good. Add a bit more onto that. Rifles it into the bottom left-hand corner. He's got an orange flag a couple of moments ago. He's got a green flag there. Salthill Knocknacarra with the first goal of the game. Rifled it in, and Finnerty with a stunning finish into the bottom corner. Not a thing in the world Bernard Power has done. And if Finnerty was hot, he's bubbling right now.
We said just moments ago he is very much on it, and so well he is. What a score. And he went for the juggler. Paddy Kitts laid it off to him, and Robert Finnerty saw the whites of Bernie Power's eyes, and he wasn't going for a point. He knows that they're going to drive on and keep the foot on the pedal now while they're in the ascendancy.
Yeah, should give a big note in the build up there as well. Paddy Kitts, how well did he do? He broke through, popped it back to the shooter. Very much the man who created that latest score. So it's a dream start for Salthill Knocknacarra, the opposite end of the spectrum completely from this time last year in Toom Stadium, where they had a disaster of a start. The game was over after 20 minutes. Here, after 10 and a half, they lead Corofin by 1-5 to a point. Do not adjust your dials. That is 1-5 for Salthill Knocknacarra, 1 point for Corofin. Here it comes again, a chip ball in around the house. It's going to hang up a little bit more. Might break dangerously. It's batted away cleverly. Comes across towards Charlie Power. Will he go for goal? Flashes it over the top of the bar. Might have been a green. They'll settle for a white. 1-6 now for Salthill Knocknacarra, who are motoring like a Ferrari out there.
They're flying it again. Michael Kitt in that instance patting it down to, I think, Robert Walter, number 13, and he finds range with a really good score. Salthill are absolutely flying and winning the personal duels. You can see Bernie Power is now laying down, I'd say, a little bit of
Arsenal.
And that'll show you, I think, Corofin are a little bit under the cosh. They're under pressure. Salthill's winning the personal duels, spraying the ball around and finding the right people at the right places and getting the scores. They're 8 points clear. A massive start, and like you touched on, such a big difference between now and this time last year in Tuam, where the game was going away from Salthill minute by minute.
Yeah, you could say it's a disaster of a start really from Corofin, not just trailing by 8. They've lost Jason Leonard as well, who clearly they took a gamble on in the build-up. Bernard Power, I think he'll be okay. It was interesting to see Finnegan Hanley. He ran to every official he could find there as well, just to indicate that he would like to play to continue. And why wouldn't he, the way his side have started here as well. They have literally just motored into this game here so far. 1-6 after 12 minutes of football is some bit of shooting. Yeah,
they're flying at Robert Finnerty 1-3 with Daniel O'Flaherty with a point, Charlie Power with a point, Robert Walter. So there's a really good spread of scores, and some of their big players are playing. We saw 2 weeks ago they relied very much on Cathal Sweeney for the scores when they needed them, but now a much better spread. Michael Kitt set up the last, Paddy Kitt the one before. So again, like that, it's a very much all-round performance from Salthill Knocknacarra in the early stages, and Corofin under a little bit of pressure, albeit only 12 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Power did well though, went short, finds a teammate. Look at the pressure coming on over here, half a turnover now. Referee says a little bit too eager in terms of that one, so a free for Corofin. They'll have to go back another yard or two to take it. Pretty much back on their own 65. Left hand side, still a good crowd of souls in the terrace. It's a beautiful night here in Pearse Stadium in Galway City. Saturday night lights from club football perspective. We do know that Mockcullen are safely through to the final. They'll be watching on with increasingly interest as the free is taken very close towards the sideline. They'll be doing well to get out of that sort of situation, trying to bulldoze their way out. The ball is on the floor, bodies are scampering everywhere, and it's Salthill Knocknacarra that come out with the ball and they're going to do it. And that roar is nearly as loud as some of the scores they got. It's going to be brought forward a considerable amount of space here as well. Finnerty might fancy going for 2 again here.
It's well within his range. Shane Curley correctly brought it up the 40 or 50 metres as per the new rule. But again, the pressure that Salthill put on the free, the Corofin man was under pressure. The time was ticking. He looked back, he looked forward, looked sideways, and he ultimately had to force a 50-50 down the line. They turned it over, and you'd expect after kicking 1-3 in the first 14 minutes that this will be 1-5 for Robert Finnerty.
So here comes Finnerty. He's just outside the 2-point arc, about 40 yards out, over on the right hand side. Usually he would have a breeze in his face here, but it's calmness here as Finnerty lets fly. And Finnerty, the second it left his boot, flies it over the bar. And wait for this, Eddie. He's put his side 10 points in front with 14 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock.
What a statement from Salthill Knocknacarra. We touched on it. They needed to hit it early, and they have. There seemed to be, you saw looking out at them, there was a real focus about their warm-up, a focus about everything about them. John Maher looks in a lot of bother there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look good for him.
No, it doesn't.
And that's definitely that ankle that we saw him hurt in New York earlier in the year, and Ifania's right out to him. So that's, albeit they're 10 points up, that's a big concern, not just for Salthill, but for everyone here in Pearse Stadium, and John as well. He looks in a lot of pain. I don't think he'll be taking part in any more of this game.
Sensible thing is just to stop the play here as well. His teammates have to keep on going. The ball has come out, but now Corofin will come forward. The play should really be stopped. I know Finnegan Hanley is saying we should hold on to it, but clearly John Maher is into all sorts of discomfort out as well, because he's a big man. He does not go down easily. He's in a lot of pain. We'll follow the course of the play, which is over on the left-hand side now. Corofin looking for their second score of the game. It's shooting high. It's a Gary Owen, though. It's just not happening at the moment from the all-conquering Corofin side. Where's the breaking ball going to go? It's in Salthill Knocknacarra possession. And now surely they'll stop the play here as well, because this is the greatest concern of everything as things stand.
Looking for a
stretcher, and this is not a good sign here as well, as a stretcher is being called for. And after all the entertainment under the lights here in Salthill, his side have started immaculately, but their all-star is down under a lot of pain, and this is not just a game changer, it could be a season changer as well.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. He's grimacing. They're taking off his boot, and I'd say it might not just be the end of John Maher's game, it could be the season. They're looking for the stretcher. He looks in bother. I'm not sure if it's his ankle or his knee, but it doesn't look good, and it's cast a bit of a shadow over proceedings here in Pearse Stadium. Yeah, the boot is off. He's getting through the medics. The stretcher is coming on. It's a sad sight already. The substitution has been indicated there. Niall Hanaho has been introduced. John Maher will leave the game in a stretcher, not the outcome he would have dreamt about.
last night. It's a sad sight, not just for his club, but you think about the Galway scene that is nearly around the corner, dare I say it as well. Been riddled with injuries the last couple of years, but he's been the standout guy. He's been the warrior, that bear out in the middle of the pitch, and such a sad sight, Eddie, isn't it?
It is, yes. Never nice to see the stretcher come, and he's getting a really good ovation from the side, and it's nice to see from everyone here in Pearse Stadium.
Yeah, so Mar will be going down, get some treatment. I wish him the very best. Finian Hanley is going to cross there as well to pass on his regards, but he's quickly has to run out on the pitch because his teammates now, minus their all-star, have to just weather the, you would say, the storm in the next couple of moments. Corofin are coming like a blitz, and they've got possession of the football over towards the left-hand side to go. Hand pass isn't the greatest in the world though, but they do keep possession, but it's just taking the momentum out of it. It's a cross now, and they will solo cross. Lunny will come on. The experienced guys, you'd imagine, will try to come to the fore. No more so than their captain, Dylan McHugh. Thought he was going to let fly there, still solo. The backdoor cut is on, over the top it goes. Well, who's going to get the opportunity? Good defending, breaks kindly there from Corofin. Scoop the ball into the breadbasket. The ball is passed in field now. Can they work an opportunity? It's blasted down. What a block at the back that is.
Evan Wynn.
Evan Wynn with a talk about no regard for his body at all. He threw himself at that ball because that was flying.
Yeah, inspirational. One of the more experienced players in the Salthill backline threw his body at it, and again Michael Lundy threw his took it on his left foot. Looks like
play on now.
There might have been a breach, but no.
It's one of those, everyone shouts and nearly everyone stops. We're still getting used to that situation. O'Flaherty now down that familiar left-hand side, pops the ball over towards Finnerty, gives it back towards O'Flaherty, gone on the byline, tries to go back on his right, needs help, finds Finnerty again inside the 21. Backwards they go and they recycle all the way back now, and they keep on position. There's room over on the far side, and it's gone over that one, and they'll keep on playing. Thompson now, Young Footballer of the Year nominee, on the 45. He's going to go now. He dummy solos it, then cleverly scoops it backwards as the pressure was coming on from Corofin. Small bit of room over on the left hand side, and they drive on outside of their ball route. Everett here comes from Carl Sweeney. He's tailed it off. I think if that had gone over, we'd have all just gone home.
Yeah, no, to be fair, 10 points up. They probably forced it now. To be fair, Cahill will be disappointed. That's their second wide of the game, and albeit they're 10 points up, they still need to be economical. What worked for them in the first quarter was recycling and finding the right man in the right place, and in that case it wasn't the case.
So Corofin now get possession now on the halfway line. They went short again for the kick out. They've done that the last couple of occasions. They have the advantage here as well as Farr picks up possession. He looks up, he's going to go outside of the boot. It's pretty much a free hit. Scoops the ball into the corner, a little bit too much on it. Will we come back? Is that deemed enough? It is deemed enough. I thought they might have come back for the infringement. Not quite the free hit in the end, out for technically another wide ball. They've had a couple of those. They've gone out in the full. And you touched on Kieran Brady here in the build-up, not being involved. He's going to be involved now.
Cahill Silk, I think.
Yeah, so it's called Silk who makes way. So Brady has to go up in the middle of the pitch. This is a little bit of reshuffle now here from Gary Delaney, and he's pointing players, and hands are going all different directions. They need something because 20 minutes gone. It's Salthill Knocknacarra 1-8, Corofin 1 point. They need something to fix urgently.
Yeah, Kieran Brady has had a really good championship, to be fair. And what an inspirational catch. I'm sure that was laying down his marker on proceedings.
Knees in the back and everything.
Like a free as well, I'd say.
It's been won at the back by Evan Wynn as it comes out of it, and he's allowed possession to develop. And now it's a counter ruck, if you call it that. Dribble down the line here. Salthill now with O'Flaherty under a lot of pressure. He's down the ground. There's men on his back, left, right, and centre. Bowls the ball back. Who's going to get possession of the ball? It's a free in that's been given here for Corofin.
Within 2 point range.
And they need it.
So Dara Silk, I'd expect again. But Evan Wynn, really good there, winning a personal duel with Ian Burke. It looked borderline. I thought there might have been a pull, but no. Shane Curley let it play, but ultimately Salthill conceded a free, which Dara Silk, you'd have to be looking at 20 minutes on the clock. You'd have to be saying they need to start nailing some of these to start chipping away.
Yeah, well, he's going to put the ball on the floor as well. Had that 45 a little bit earlier on, but this time he's not quite Jeff Allen side of the pitch, but he's gubbered out about 10 yards in from the sideline, over in front of the main stand here. Beautiful setting here in Pearse Stadium.
Within his range, I think, but will take a good kick.
So he's put the foot through. It's going to drag left. Has been kept in play. It's not. And do not adjust your dials or your TVs or whatever sort of device you're listening on. That's Corofin's third wide of the game. But significantly, let me remind you of the scoreboard again. It's Corofin 1 point, Salthill Knocknacarra 1-8, and Corofin got the first score of the game in the 3rd minute, Eddie. We're now on almost 22 minutes. It is a jaw-dropping performance from Salthill Knocknacarra so far.
Yeah, to be fair, full value. They've been excellent from the outset. Like we touched on, they've had a real desire to get into this game. They knew that they were beaten after nearly 25 minutes in the first half in Tuam last year, and I'd say they were gunning for this fixture, not just for the last 2 weeks when it was announced, but for the last 12 months.
Yeah, certainly that's the marker on the back of the dressing room, you would suggest. It's called Sweeney brought his side forward here again. They're still going and driving forward. Might be an opportunity here. Try and get the shot away. Shot has been taken from a difficult angle. Is this one going to go over? It certainly is. Just listen to the scalps as every sort of score. It's going over left, right and centre for Salthill Knocknacarra. A beautiful strike in the end. It's sailed over the bar. 1-9 now for Salthill Knocknacarra. 1 point for Corofin, and Matthew Thompson with another beauty.
Another beautiful score. Matthew Thompson has been actually a little bit quiet in the first 20 minutes, but again showing his class. What a season he's had, and a really good score with his left foot.
Conor Cunningham's been punished now as well. It's just not happening for Corofin. They're usually so composed in these situations. You think back of all the battles they've had over the years. How many times do they come back at the death? How many times do they force extra time, force replays and grind their way through it? They're facing a different beast right now though.
Yes, Jonathan, and we know they have it in their DNA to stay in games, to come back in them, and that's why it's so important for Salthill Knocknacarra to keep the foot down. In that instance, we saw Cathal Sweeney recycle the ball back to the right man, to Matthew Thompson. He stroked it over. Every point will be might not look at now, but come 60 minutes, they'll be important scores.
Dara Silk has found the ball and it's been fouled as well. The pressure, you can definitely see it's not happening on the scoreboard just yet, but Corofin forwards are working so aggressively. The latest phase of pressure that they put on is a free in. Dara Silk got fouled inside the 2-point arc. Who's going to grab this football as it's going to be taken? And they need to try and get just their second score of the game. It's a Dylan Canny, who of course replaced Jason Leonard, so pretty much sharpshooter for sharpshooter, you would say. But this just has to go over, Eddie. There's no if, buts or maybes about this.
It's an important kick, and Dylan has only been introduced. He hasn't handled too much ball, so it's a difficult kick for his first of the game, but again, well within his range. And like you touched on, at this stage, 11 points down, it's looking like everything has to go over for Corofin to stay in touch. Now,
I think it's Dara Silk who's still down, or is it? No, it's, in fact, I think it's a Salthill player just getting some treatment as well. With the scoreboard, you have to just kind of scratch your eyes and look at it. It's an 11-point advantage as things stand for Salthill Knocknacarra, 1-9 to a point. 25 minutes gone on the clock, although Corofin have an opportunity here with a 1 point placed ball effort with the new man on the block, and not just in terms of the score but in terms of getting the place kicker off the mark as well. This feels like a pivotal moment as we sneak closer towards half time. Canning now is going to shoot off the hands with the right. He'll be just inside the 2-point arc by the time he strikes this one. And this just has to go over from the Corofin perspective. A sentence we did not think we'd be saying at this stage. It's high, it's going to drop short, though it's in and around the house. It's punched in, it's cleared off the line. How on earth has that stayed out? But it has stayed out. Salthill Knocknacarra, as they've been over the opening 26 minutes of action, the quicker off the mark, and now they're coming like a train flying forward. This would be a huge score if they can go from literally one end of the pitch to the other. They boot the ball in towards the corner, in towards Finnerty. He's still battling over there. Where's the ball going to go? He's still has it. He's going to be out close towards half day by the time he keeps possession, but possession he has, scoops it over this side where Daniel Flaherty now is a bit of open country down his familiar inside left position. He's going to go for two. Daniel Flaherty from downtown. Daniel Flaherty from one end of the pitch to the other, punished with a 2-pointer. And my God almighty, Salthill Knocknacarra had their Weetabix this morning.
Oh, absolutely, what a score, inspiration. You saw the roar. Each and every one of the Salthill Knocknacarra, you see the mentors, the players, they're still that focused, but what a score. That's his third, and what an inspirational score. But who won the ball the far side of the pitch? It was Charlie Power powering up the pitch over to Daniel, and a crossfield ball by Robert Finnerty to Daniel O'Flaherty, and you could just see how important that score was, and it's amazing. 13 points in it. Who would have said it before the off?
1-11 to 1 point in favour of Salthill Knocknacarra. after 26 and a half minutes of the first half. I can hardly believe the words that are coming out of my mouth right now. Farah now tries to get Corofin on the attack. My God, do they need some scores? It's not happening. Up it goes, they move the ball in field. They probably even need a couple of 2-pointers, some bit of moment to give them some hope. The pressure's coming in all this time. It'll be free in for Salthill Knocknacarra. They take it, or for Corofin even, they try and take it quickly, try and bulldoze their way through. I think it was Lundy try to bulldoze his way through. A change for Salthill here now as well. So Daniel Hoare has been introduced. And I think it's Aaron Mannion that is departing.
Yeah, it looks like an injury, I think, from the mentors here on the near side appear to suggest. I'm surprised Corofin actually didn't go for the. I think it was at the 2-point range, the earlier one, but Lundy went quick with it. But if it was, but again, they'll most likely just tip this one over to try and keep the scoreboard ticking.
Well, Dylan Connie will get his first score of the game here. He's dead centre in front of the post. We did have a big miss earlier on in the first game, a pivotal miss. Jack Rugan, who's very, very good for Toome Stars, but hit a free when the sides were level, hit the inside of the post and out. But this one will be converted by Dylan Canny. Strokes the ball over the bar, but it's just Corofin's second point after 28 minutes of football in the first half. Eddie, what in the name of God is happening out in front of us here under the lights?
Yeah, it's in fact the total opposite to what happened last year in Toome Stadium. We would have said beforehand probably Pearse Stadium might suit a young fit Salthill side a little bit better than Toome, which generally plays faster under lights. It's a different setting, it's a different type of contest, but they've come out and they're full value for it. And sometimes you might say that Corofin have kicked wides. 2 of the wides they kicked were balls that carried, so like Salthill very much full value for it, so economical in front of goal. Only kicked I think 2 wides to Corofin's 4.
Salthill had the hard bit done, but now they force a turnover. Now they've some defending to do. As far Mike, that is, drives forward, possession of the football, ends up on the floor. Has he got a free? He has got a free. It's another one that needs to go over. It's a 1-point effort. Clock now is just tipping away towards the half-time interval. Almost 29 minutes on the clock. 2 points for Corofin, 1-11 for Salthill Knocknacarra. Again, that comes with the caveat: do not adjust your dials. It is the scoreline here. It's been jaw-dropping performance where Salthill Knocknacarra absolutely tore out of the blocks. Canny has an opportunity now to try and get his second and his side's third score of the game as they work the way situation through. And the shot has been taken, and Dylan Canny turns around in disgust straight away because it hasn't got the contact that he desired. Sliced across towards the right hand side. Where's the football? It's going to be a free in being given on the 14, but it's just not happening. It's the most un-Corofin-like performance I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched Corofin not score from play in 30 minutes of action, and that'll show you how this first half has gone. Now they should chip this over from Dara Silk, and there's 5 minutes at a time, and you'd have to think at this stage that'll put 11 in it. They'll need to reduce the margin within injury time to stay in it, because 11 points is a lot with this all-conquering Salthill side.
Yeah, so that was converted there by Dara Silk. 3 points now for Corofin, 1-11 for Salthill Knocknacarra. We're just about to start those 5 minutes of addition time. 5 minutes you feel like is a significant amount, but we did have that big injury, but John Maher has been forced off injured. Of course, we saw also a couple of injuries as well. Aaron Mannion has departed, and also from the Corofin perspective, Jason Leonard was off after 5 minutes. Looks like a recurrence of his injury. So it's certainly a game that's been taxing on the bodies as so far. Charlie Power does ever so well there, wins the primary possession, and now on comes Salthill Knocknacarra themselves. It's their opportunity to try and finish with a bang here at the end of a jaw-dropping first half performance. Mark Mannion scoops the ball across towards the right hand side. We've played almost a minute of the 5 minutes of additional time, and Salthill now just inside the Corofin half are holding on to possession. Now they start to drive forward. There's a lot of bodies over on this right hand side, but they go centrally again to try and keep this opportunity on the game. Over on the right hand side they go, and they work the ball back, moving it through the hands. Finnerty now has found half a yard, scoops the ball in field, where they're going to drive forward themselves. Daniel Fardy has got a absolutely stunning 2-pointer. He got one that was nice from play as well. A couple of 2-point efforts, a couple from Finnerty as well. And now they move it across. Mannion across, shoots for a 2-point effort. This one might be short. No, it's gone over the bar. Talk about a score to end the half with an absolute bang. Their third 2-pointer of the half. And they're back 13 points in front. 13 points in front, Salthill Knocknacarra.
Yeah, what a score, Mark Mannion. The patience, the build-up. And a lot of county players twitched the ball in it, but Mark Mannion then showed the composure to step up. I thought they might potentially have a blue ball moment and just hold on to the football, but no, they're not letting it up. They're not taking the foot off the pedal, and nor should they. They're by far the better team, and they know that this is their time to put the foot down and try and win this game. Massive score, Mark Mannion.
It certainly is. So 1-13 now for Salthill Knocknacarra. 3 points from Corofin. A minute to go at the end of the first half. Scarcely believable stuff. Finian Hanley will already be looking to AC Milan, Istanbul sort of halftime team talks, because that's what the conversation is happening. It needs something dramatic. It needs a miracle in the second half from the Corofin perspective, because this game is only going one way.
Yeah, simple hand passes going away from them as well, and everything Salthill touches is good, but the work rate is really, really important, really impressive. We've seen Charlie Power has been down the pitch. We saw Evan Wynne at that point. I think they were 7 or 8 up when he made a big turnover on Ian Burke. There was a big block down, so they're doing all the small things right, but also nailing the scores at the other end.
Here indeed comes Ian Burke, gives the ball backwards. Now it's Patrick Egan holding on to possession, but they have a lot of blue shirts in front of them. There's about 4 seconds to go. They probably need to get a 2-pointer out of this sort of situation here as well. They're outside the 2-point arc on the left-hand side. Ball is chipped down as they move it in field, trying to spin around the corner. Oh, it's gone astray, and they found a Salthill Knocknacarra. Is there really Corofin players wearing Corofin shirts out there? I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah, again, a very simple, unforced turnover, and that's their second in the space of 2 minutes. And Salthill Knocknacarra coming down, and the hand is on the juggler here, and Robert Finnerty
scoops the ball in field. Can they finish the half with a bang? Over towards the right-hand side they go, trying to work an opportunity. It's almost embarrassingly easily. Shot comes in from Power, and up and over the bar it goes. A jaw-dropping 34 minutes of football from Salthill Knocknacarra. 1-14 for Finian Hanley's side to the 3 points of Corofin. What a performance.
Absolutely, Jonathan, an outstanding performance. Full value for that lead as well. And again there you see Michael Kidd having a really good game in the middle of the pitch, finding Charlie Power, finding the man in the right position. There's no greediness here. They're all playing for that Salthill shirt. It's very, very evident. He's been excellent, Charlie Power.
One last squeeze as Corofin hold on to possession from their own kick out. The time has been going, about another minute to go here. Did have 5 minutes to be added on here. As Corofin now start to build from deep. They need a rabbit out of the hat. If they can get out of this situation, it'll probably one of be their greatest achievement in recent years, and that's saying something considering the amount of they have achieved over the years. But it's Salthill Knocknacarra. We so much in the build-up wondered what their reaction would be. What would they deliver on the big stage? Dare in fact say it, would they freeze like last year? Certainly not so far. They've been red hot. Dara Silk now tries to work his way back on his right foot. Comes back now. He's been forced around the corner. Shot comes in. This one's going to tail. It's over the bar. It's a fine score from Corofin. It might have been Dylan Canny. It comes on. His first score from play. Corofin's first score from play after 35 minutes of football. I don't think we've ever said that stat before. Yeah,
we touched on it a few moments ago. Dylan Kelly with their first from play, but it's been so flat from Corofin. Even the 5-yard hand pass having good, and I'd expect Salthill Knocknacarra will get a rouse and applause from the large local support that are here today to watch them, and they're the first team going in too.
4 points for Corofin, 1-14 for Salthill Knocknacarra. As dominance, an opening half an hour football that we've ever seen, minus All-Star nominee John Maher. Makes sense of that.
Yeah, they've been outstanding, and we touched on the county players, but other players have stood up. Charlie Power, Robert Wall, so we touched on the two kids. They've set up lots of scores too, so they've had really good performances all over the pitch. What about Mark Mannion coming up with a 2-pointer from nowhere? Evan Wynne winning ugly balls in the back line against his duel with Ian Burke. They've been dominant in every position in the pitch. Corofin look really, really rattled now. Again, you'd have to think Corofin are really, really good champions, but you'd have to think this game looks over at half time.
Well, certainly we have Gary Delaney underneath us. He needs the mother of all team talks at half time. It's his first year in charge. It's a sticky situation each side. They trail by 13 points at half time. Salthill Knocknacarra have been majestic. At half time score, we'll leave you with some highlights And spoiler alert, they're mainly from the Salthill Knocknacarra perspective. Salthill Knocknacarra 114, 4 points for Corofin. Have your half-time cuppa and come back for the second half very shortly. Lights, he's now on the orange, and Shane Curley's happy that we can't proceed with the action. Looks like a push straight away. They coming together there. Mandy way the straight through, the ball has come back, is recycled. Shot comes in straight away from a difficult angle. Oh my absolute days! What? Just a yard past the right hand side post. Looks like he's going to put the foot through this one, and it's curled over beautifully. And what two finish now, spins around. He's on the 21, recycles back to Daniel Flaherty. He's usually good from this situation. He strikes with the left. Oh, have a bit at that! It's won by Salthill Knocknacarra. Now onwards they go, driving forward possession. Back on the right, the shot's been taken. Oh, have a bit of that, the scores.
Which is unusual for Corofin.
So here comes Finnerty, the All-Star nominee, hits it high, hits it up, and reach for that orange flag straight away. No, they've just gone.
Kick out again from Donald O'Sullivan.
Yeah, it was brought on there by Colin Sweeney, and Maher, who won the ball, is down the ground. Sumo scoops the ball up. Here could be a goal scoring opportunity if they can put their way through. Backwards to go. Happy take the shot, the goal into the back of the net. We said Salthill had started good. We said falling around the house is going to hang up a little bit more. Might break dangerously. Spatted away cleverly. Comes across towards Charlie Power. Will he go for goal? Flashes it over the top of the bar. Usually he would have a breeze in his face here, but it's calmness here as Finnerty lets fly. And Finnerty, the second it left his opportunity here. Try and get the shot away. Shot has been taken from a difficult angle. Is this one going to go over? It certainly is. Just listen. Downey's familiar inside the left position. He's going to go for two. Danny Flaherty from downtown. Danny Flaherty. Converted by Dylan Canny. Strokes the ball over the bar, but it's just Corofin.
Tip this over from Dara Silk, and there's 5 minutes at a time, and you'd have to think at this stage that'll put 11 in it.
Now they move it across, Mannion across, shoots for a 2-point effort. This one might be short. No, it's gone over the bar. Talk about a score. Inside they go, trying to work an opportunity. It's almost embarrassingly easily. Shot comes in from Power. And up and over the bar. Now tries to work his way back on his right foot. Comes back now, he's been forced around the corner. Shot comes in. This one's going to tail, it's over the bar. It's a fine score.
The award-winning Blackrock Cottage in .ie.
Custom sportswear and workwear by Baru Sports in Ennis and Shannon. From clubs and schools to local businesses, we design quality gear that looks sharp and lasts. Baru Sports Ennis and Shannon, custom made for your team, your work, your game. Call us now on 061 364 750.
Okay, let me know. You're very welcome back to Pearse Stadium, where we're all just trying to figure what in the name of God happened at the first half there, because the scoreboard reads Salthill Knocknacarra 114, 4 points for Corofin. A jaw-dropping performance for Finial Hanley's side so far. And I'm not quite sure what the cheers are there. There's a young lad out in the middle of the pitch trying to get in on the action. It's a situation. We have a change at half time as well, as the second half has started here in Pearse Stadium, and Corofin need the mother of all comebacks if they're to try and dig themselves out of the hole. They trail by 13 points, and just look at the work rate. It's a push over the back in the end. I feel like that's saying, and I'll edit myself, but the Paddy O'Shea loaf of bread over the sideline felt perfect way to describe that situation.
Yeah, you can see it, and they're just very much like to the fore, and you can see the Finian Hanley isn't letting up. He knows that they still have to play in this second half, and the signs on there from the outset. Tom O'Culhan, what a great sub to be able to bring in at half time when you're 14 points up. 13.
Short has come in dangerous. They need a goal off the top of the crossbar. It's up for a point in the end for Corofin. It was almost more. It really needed to be more in the end.
Looked like Kieran Brady.
He was in around the house, got a good punch on the ball, to be fair. So that just chips away at the deficit slowly. 5 points now for Corofin. 114 for Salthill Knocknacarra. We're a minute into the second half. In Portugal, after 35 minutes, it's scoreless between Portugal and the Republic of Ireland. We're here, Sullivan even drives that ball high into the middle of the sky. It's bumped, it's on around, and as we've seen so far, Salthill Knocknacarra, the amount of breaking ball that they won is just incredible.
Yeah, they've been focused, like we touched on, not just the county players, right around the pitch, a real spread of good attitude from all the players, forcing errors, doing the simple things right, finding the right man in the right place and executing the scores. And I don't think they'll want to let up here, because they'll know Corofin.
That was Mark Mannion there. How good has he been?
The tradition that Corofin have, they're not going to let up.
No, certainly not. But
they're not going to give up.
Mark Mannion, how good has he been as well? I know we got excited with his two-pointer, but that amount of stuff there, just getting the ball, bringing it up on the pitch, he's done that all day long.
He certainly has, and we touched on the two-pointer, but just his work ethic all over the pitch has been excellent. He's had a really good championship, to be fair. Like we touched on, we were in Tuam earlier in the year for round one. He was to the fore that day also, as was the likes of Charlie Power, Robert Walzer, and all these guys. They've had good years for Salthill, but when they need it the most, they're stepping up here today.
Yeah, so just to confirm that half-time substitute, another statement from Finian Hanley, who has, of course, lost John Maher in the first half. But Tom O'Culhan is on. He replaces Paddy Kidd. Kidd had a fine game as well. He was involved in a couple of scores and showed a lot of patience and a lot of cleverness and intelligence on the football.
Yeah, he was good, really good in the first half, as you said, involved in a lot of scores. He was good too when he came on against St James's in the quarter-final. But again, it just shows the depth that you can take off a player that's playing well to bring on Tom O'Culhan. And Tomo will be looking to make an impression to make sure that his name will be in the first 15 come county final day, if they see this out, which you'd expect they will. Fourth wide at the game there for Corofin. It goes off the boot of Lunley, sliced to an effort slightly going outside of the boot there. So still 5 points for Corofin, 114 for Salthill Knocknacarra. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Corofin now, to their credit, will keep on fighting, but they have a lot of an uphill battle here. Bodies off the ground there. There's a bit of a follow through on challenge. Certainly Salthill Knocknacarra, their intensity in the challenge hasn't diminished at all. Brady now, the substitute in the first half, gets possession of the ball in around the pocket now, soloing from a central position out towards the left, where the run now comes from Liam Silk. Liam Silk now plays the ball in field, hits a lot of trouble, so has to go backwards with the football, then boots a clever ball over towards the right hand side. Shot comes in first time. Dara Silto is going to hang over in the air. Up it's coming, the hands come out from O'Sullivan. 2 punches on the ball, outwards it come, and Salthill Knocknacarra, you guessed it, will get the breaking ball here. Pressure comes on. Good work right there from Brady, who certainly added intensity. Now he might have forced a turnover here as well. It's like something you'd see at the sports ground. There's bodies in everywhere, and in the end, a free in has been awarded to Salthill, no, to Corofin in fact.
which they tried to take quickly from the wrong spot, so they'll leave it now. I'd imagine Canny will take an effort at goal here. He's a couple of yards in from the sideline. So they try and work another opportunity just to chip away at the goal. It's a difficult opportunity. Canny's left it, in fact. And we'll see where this ball will attack. McCabe, I think, has got it. He's going to bounce it all on the floor. He's literally on the 14, all the way out by the sideline, over in front of the stand here in the left side. He's going to try and strike this off the hands. Oh, he squeezed it over beautifully. And if there is a tonic score, maybe that just might be it. It's still a huge battle. 5 points now for Corofin, 1-14 for Salthill Knocknacarra. But such a fine strike from McCabe.
An inspirational score. We touched on Peter Cooks early on with the perfect vantage point to this one. And a score like that probably deserves the 2 points because it's so cute, it's so tight, and Jack McCabe, to be fair, he's come in there and a really, really good score, and Corofin needed it. Now 2 points to no score second half, and they're starting to get more ball in around the middle of the pitch, Corofin, so Salthill will be conscious of that too.
Yeah, so over on the left-hand side, Salthill win the breaking ball of Flaherty. You can recognise that familiar stance, and look at the speed that he's going. Punches the ball in field all the way over on the byline, shoots from a difficult angle, have to squeeze it in. Oh my absolute days. How on earth has that squeezed it over the bar? It is a jaw-dropping strike in the end. Is it Tomo back with a bang?
I think it was, yeah. And Daniel
My
Flaherty,
God.
that blistering pace coming through, and in on the left, Tomo Culhan, what a statement. His first touch of the ball nails the score, and like we touched on, if and like we'd expect Salthill will be in a county final in 2 weeks' time, he'll want to be in that starting lineup. Really good score for Tomo.
Yeah, certainly. What a way to mark your introduction of Flaherty. Definitely the water carrier in terms of that one. Kieran Malloy now going for a 2-pointer down this end. He's dragged it out towards the left-hand side and wide. It's just not happening at the moment. Probably do need to shoot for 2-pointers, you would suggest. 6.5 minutes gone in the second half. 1-15 for Salthill Knocknacarra. 6 points for Corofin. A 12-point advantage for Salthill. But still, Finian Hanley is marching up and down in front of us. Looks like he's going to bring fresh legs onto it. I think he wants this situation now where everyone is nearly killing each other for a position potentially in the final.
Yeah, they're focused, and like that 12 points in it, but Corofin, a goal or two could get back into it. Doubtful, but Salthill and Finian will make sure that they try and let up, because they're...
Dillicani squeezes that one in. I thought it tailed over towards the left-hand side and wide, but no, over the bar it goes. So 7 points now from Corofin, 1-15 for Salthill. Kenny's second from play since his introduction halfway through the first half. Certainly a little better. It was a nice switch of play, shall we call it, very Salthill-like from the first half. Quick boot of ball into open space and a fine strike.
Yeah, much better from Corofin. They're starting to do what they're good at, the kick pass, the simple things right. And like we touched on, that's what they're good at. And they'll start chipping away at the lead. The last questions, there will be questions asked, but again, that firepower around the half back line, half forward line from Salthill, they're going to still, you'd expect, chip away with a few scores and just keep that breathing space between the two sides. Daniel
O'Flaherty, it's going to be a difficult challenge to pick your man of the match, but he's just absolute gobbled up. It's like maybe like Young in the All-Ireland final in terms of that sort of just raw aggression up and down all day long, throwing himself into the breaking ball. Yeah, but he's just been outstanding.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He's a brilliant, brilliant player. In the quarter-final too, he was involved in so much scores as well. We touched on all the scores from the county players, but he was involved in so much in terms of direct assists, you know, and today as well. He's really, like you touched on, Jack White in the All-Ireland final, right from the off, he's been at it.
Here comes an opportunity though. Comes across to it. Can they get a goal? Silk into the back of the net. They're not going away, you know. 1-7 now for Corofin. 1-15 for Salthill Knocknacarra. 8.5 minutes gone in the second half, and it's back to an 8-point goal game.
Back to an 8-point game. We touched on they're county champions of 2 years. They're not going to let up their Frank Fox crown. They're going to ask questions. You can see the ball went in the net, and one of their players went in after it to put it on the spot for Donald O'Sullivan, because they mean business. Good score from Dara Silk. We touched on that they were going to need goals to get back in this game, and 8 points in it. Again, I don't think Gary Delaney could have asked for much more in the first 8 minutes, having had such a poor first half.
And here come Corofin again. Malloy now, halfway line, looks up, puts his boot through it in a course towards Ian Burke. He's been quite by his standards so far. Will he go for 2? He's thinking about it. Ian Burke for a 2-point effort. It's short and wide though. I talked about a couple of scores in the first half that potentially took the roof off the place. That would have been met with a big Corofin roar. Alas, it's out towards the right-hand side and wide, and it's still an 8-point ball game.
Yeah, 6 wides for Corofin. They'll be disappointed with that. You could see the pep in Ian Burke's step. The confidence is back in their play. At this first half hour, they were quite lethargic, hadn't scored from play. He took that on. He mightn't have done that in the first half, but they'll need goals, they'll need 2-pointers to get back in there, because like we touched on, we'd expect Salthill aren't going to finish on 115. They're going to add to that, but again, I wasn't expecting it, but this game is very much live now.
Yeah, the momentum is definitely swung back down the N17, you would suggest, as things stand. Corofin now starting to chip away. 10 minutes gone now in this second half. 1-7 for Corofin, 1-15 for Salthill Knocknacarra. And now another ball in towards Burke again. It's in front of him. He's usually very good at these ones. Scoops it off the shoulder quickly. And that's a Jack McCabe with a beautiful ball inside off the shoulder. Coming back. Here, can they force another goal? What's this decision going to be? Where's the ball? Is it going to be a free in? Is it going to be a penalty? What is the decision? It's almighty close. If we'd VAR, we'd be looking at lines and everything around the situation. I think he's going to give a free in.
But that's the Corofin that we all know. The quick, fast, intricate play. Shane Curley, I'd say, gave the free because the initial contact was outside of the arc. But see Ian Burke out to Jack McCabe, them slick hands, and it opens up everything. Evan Rinn was right on his shoulder, but he opened up the space, and that's another nice score for Corofin. I think it's Jack McCabe, and that puts 7 between sides. And there's an eerie nervousness amongst the Salthill supporters. You can hear it. Donal O'Sullivan is slowing things up in terms of his kick out. Finian Hanley is instructing some of his substitutes to warm up, so there's definitely a different complexion on proceedings here in the second half with 20 minutes to go, and Corofin chipping away at it. Salthill, like we touched on, will need to add to that scoreboard because there probably will be a goal or two in Corofin yet.
So 11 minutes gone in the second half. Corofin 1-8, Salthill 1-15. Corofin, though, remarkably on the attack again. It's back towards a 7-point ball game. It's their number 7, Kieran Malloy, who has possession now, and he drives forward that familiar style, trying to burn his way through. He's hit the 45, hits a 2-point arc, looking for some movement. Kenny comes around the loop. He's hovering outside the 2-point arc. Backwards it goes now towards Mike Farr, who sprays it across towards the right-hand side, where it's picked up by Lunley. He's dropped a little deeper. He's going to spray it and turn over towards the right-hand side, and they break down with Dylan McHugh. McHugh now loses possession of the ball just about, keeps it as he fumbled the ball on the surface. The goal scorer, Dara Silk, now makes his way in forward, still going, got a bit of contact now, chips it in. The space here for Farr outside the 45. Will he go for 2? No, he's standard position. Malloy's across this side, receive it via the boot. Malloy, a dummy back on the left, back on the right, going for a 1-point effort. Kieran Malloy has put it up. Do not go home yet, folks. This ball game is very much alive.
Very much alive, Jonathan. Another really good score. Jinked on the left, in on his favoured right. And the large Corofin faithful are starting to get louder. Again, Salthill, like we touched on, that eerie nervousness amongst them. It's 1-9 to 1-15, 6 points in it. They're eating away at this deficit, and all the momentum is with Corofin. And to be fair to them, the tradition in that club, they were never going to go down without a fight, but it looked all but over at half time. It looked like Salthill were preparing to be here in 2 weeks' time.
And Brady has passed it down to Malloy, and then they come again with Farr. I said this would be remarkable a lot. It's getting tangible, Eddie. It's a 2-score game.
Yeah, Kieran Brady, it's been outstanding second half. Right from the first throw in, he caught it. When he came on and won that kick out, he has more than put down a marker in this second half. Kieran Malloy, another man who's getting in. Ian Burke is winning his duel inside with Evan Wynne as well, and now it looks like an easy score for McCabe.
McCabe with the left, squeeze it in, squeeze it over the bar. 1-10 now for Corofin, 1-15 for Salthill Knocknacarra. 13 minutes gone in the second half, and the tide has turned here in Salthill.
It has turned, and all the momentum is with Corofin now. That's Jack McCabe's third for 2 frees early on, and that's his first from play. And again, like you touched on, all the momentum. Salthill are going to have to add to that 1-15, and who would have thought it at half time? It looked all but game, set and match when Mark Mannion put over that 2-pointer to put them 13 points clear.
Yeah, 1-14 to 4 points was the half-time score. 40 minutes later, It's all Corofin, and they've won another free, and they're taking it quickly. I thought this game was over, but it turns out that not. Did we ever defy Corofin not to bulldoze the way back into this game? They're on the march again here, Corofin. They smell blood. They smell something remarkable. There's an opportunity inside here. They've got one goal. Can they get another opportunity? Backwards it goes towards Ian Burke. He goes back and turn towards Dylan Canny. Dylan Canny from the left. Dylan Canny high. Dylan Canny over the bar. What on earth is going on? It's back to 4. 14 minutes gone in the second half. 1:11 plays 1:15. Corofin have put a few coins in the meter at half time.
Yeah, we touched on Peter Cook, Daniel O'Flaherty in the first half. Peter Cook in the first game. That's what a score. We've the perfect vantage point of that. Dylan Canny, that's his 4th of the game, 3rd from play. What a score. It just hung up and dropped under the crossbar, and it looks now like...
Is he punishing the referee?
It's going to disallow it, is it?
They're going to cancel the score. The score appears to be cancelled. I confess, I don't have a Scooby-Doo what's happened. The score looks good. Was there a breach on the person?
Yeah.
There was a breach. Look at the officials here on this side.
That's a big
wow,
moment,
that's a momentum changer here.
It's a reprieve that Salthill, Knocknacarra needed. I didn't see the breach myself. It's been called by Christopher Ryan, the linesman, and to be fair, there doesn't appear to be too much objection, so it must have been a genuine breach, but a massive consequences. It's not a technical breach, that he's bringing it right in, so it looks like it'll be Robert Finnerty, who I'd expect will tip it over. He won't come out for an advanced 2-pointer. They'll just want to keep the board ticking. A massive swing in this game.
Wow, with the new rules, I think we're all getting adjusted to still, even this late in the year. But Dylan Canny, with a bomb of a score, looked like he made it 4. Instead, is up the other end of the pitch. The score is cancelled, and it's a tap over free here, who haven't scored since that remarkable Tom O'Callaghan effort from down by the sideline a couple of moments ago. Rob Finnerty's grabbed the football. He will tap this over the bar, so 4 becomes 6 in the blink of an eye.
Big turn of events. It's a tap over free from Finnerty, and given the sequence of events, he's more than happy just to chip this over and put the pressure on. Bernard Powers kick out, and that'll put, like you touched on, 6 points, 6 versus 4, and momentum swing. It's a big
huge moment.
sequence.
Halfway through the second half, but Salthill Knocknacarra make another change. It's a substitute at half time. Niall Hano, who's departing, he's replaced by Jack Power. So just probably an indication of the way things haven't worked out in the second half for Salthill Knocknacarra, but they've got a big, not quite slice of luck, but definitely a moment of a fortune, you would suggest. How will Corofin react now? It's back towards a 6-point ball game. You'd imagine they will keep going. I have to confess, in the first half, I thought this game was a done deal.
Brady again, I think.
But yeah, Brady's come down for it. And this coverage here is what is turning out to be another belting Bon Secours Galway Senior Football Championship semi-final, brought to you on Galway JTV in association with Blackrock College Restaurant in Salthill. You can go to www.blackrockcollege.ie to find out more. The play commences here again with Corofin on the attack. Over on the right-hand side, they need to keep the scoreboard moving again. Farr now lofts one in towards the right-hand side. It's caught well in that corner. Burke scoops it off the shoulder, and now they're coming forward with Dylan McHugh backwards on the loop. Shot has been taken. This one might be low, is it? No, it's over the bar. It flies. So Corofin do get the score. They still will not lie down. It's back to our 5-point ball game. 1:11 plays 1:16, but there's a Corofin player. Is it Lunley down in a heap here on this side? He looks under a lot of pressure. It is Lunley.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm not sure, is it cramp or what it is, but he does look in a bit of bother. But again, Ian Burke, them lovely soft hands inside, wins the primary possession, lays it off, and I think it was Jack McCabe who got the score, and that's his fourth and fourth of the second half. Had a quiet first half, Jack, but he's really come into it. That's 2 from play, 2 from frees, and 4 in total to put 5 between the sides. But again, it came from a long kick out from Bernie Power and Kieran Brady winning primary possession. So
a change, and Lunny is forced off. He's replaced by Keane Murphy.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Keane Murphy in the championship. He was really good in Tuam earlier in the year.
Ross Cohn is also another huge underage star.
Again,
introduced. He replaces
I think he might have won, if I'm not mistaken, in All-Ireland, maybe with Alan Glynn a few years ago at minor. A really good player too. So
it's still potentially a grandstand finish.
Good fresh legs to be able to bring in.
Will they have an impact? 18.5 minutes on the clock in the second half here under the lights at Salthill. It's Salthill Knocknacarra leading Corofin by 5 points, 116 to 111. And Salthill have run a rare breaking ball in the second half. They gobbled them up all of the first half, and now they're dangerously on the attack. The last score was fortunate. This one looks it could be absolutely crucial. They move it through the hands here, trying to get the opportunity to force the way through. It's Tomo. Is he blocked down? Referee says no, and Corofin come out with the football.
Yeah, big sequence there. Shane Curley sort of hesitated. He wasn't sure whether he was going to give it. It could have gone either way. He didn't, and Corofin won the ball, and they've come out with the possession, which Liam Silk is a...
Oh, look at the bodies come on. It's Daniel Flaherty, but he's down in a heap. Who's got the football? It's Silk who comes out or touches. No, his team to be booted. Corofin on the attack. They're not wasting any time. Straight away, Keane Murphy is going down the right, tries to punch it, puts it towards the left-hand side and wide. Gary Delaney looks around in absolute disgust. It was a big moment there. It could have made it down to 4.
Really big moment, and we touch on there's only 5 points in it. I think that's Corofin's 8th wide, so unlike them, uncharacteristic. But what a win from Liam Silk. It looked for everything. It was a Salthill ball. The communication wasn't good. Both Salthill and Knocknacarra players collided. Liam Silk came, won the free. Not sure whether it was kicked or hand passed from the free. I didn't see the kick, but I think Murphy will be disappointed. It was definitely a chance. Keane Murphy did the right option coming in. He was on, I'm not sure if his left or right hand, but he took it on his left coming in, and he sliced it out to the left and wide. 8 wides for Corofin. Very much on with 10 minutes to go and injury time.
Sentence no more than when we read out the score during the duration of the first half. Thought the game was over. It's far from over right now. So stay with us, folks. This one's going to go to the wire, I would suggest. Corofin have won another breaking ball. They're on the attack again, over by the sideline on the right-hand side. Still a good crowd of hardy souls in the terrace. They're watching on. Probably couldn't believe what they were witnessing in the first half. Maybe the same in the second as Malloy gets it now on the halfway line. Looks up, has options over this side. Is Canny. But Malloy keeps on going in towards the central zone. Thought about going for 2 from outside the 45. Still solos with the football. Over towards the left-hand side it goes now with Canny. Canny got that big score that was disallowed for the breach a couple of moments ago. Paddy Egan now sprays the ball infield. Dylan McHugh, the team captain, trying to lead by example. Over towards the right-hand side as Corofin with fresh legs now trying to charge on. Shot comes in from a difficult angle. Shot goes up. Shot goes over the bar. It is a 4-point ball game here in Pearse Stadium. 21 and a half minutes on the clock. A stunning effort from over on the right-hand side.
Yeah, looked like Ross Cohn, I think, 22.
Yeah,
looked like, again, coming in off the bench. What an impact he's
Ross Cohn,
Ross
yes.
Cohn. And again, we touched on the experience he's had underage with Galway. What a luxury to bring on. We touched on the Salthill management team, but then you look at Gary Delaney, the experience that he has, not just as a manager but with Dunamore, but also in Corofin. But Jerry McGowan is another real gem that Corofin have acquired this year. Sligo man with bags of experience.
Brady down from downtown out of the clouds.
I'm sure he's been influential as well in their half-time chat, and again he's bringing it forward, and this 2-point
do they
range.
go for 2 here, Eddie?
I would expect they should.
So the ball caught out in the middle of the pitch. No, never moved away. Jack McCabe is going for a 2-point effort to make it a 2-point ball game with 22 minutes gone in the second half. It was 114 to 4 points. Do not remember, folks. Do not forget even at half-time. Corofin have been jaw-dropping in the second half. Can they put the foot down completely here in a game that we all thought was gone away from them? McCabe with a big kick off the hands, centre zone, strikes it, puts it over the bar. It's halfway down to the prom. Orange flag up in the air. It's a 2-point ball game. 114 Corofin, 116 Salthill Knocknacarra, who've only got 2 points in the second half, and one of those was a gimme.
What a turn of events. 6 points from Jack McCabe. Again, who won the kick out? Kieran Brady. He's been outstanding, and again, that little bit of ill discipline, didn't hand the ball back, come out for the 2-pointer. We all but had the county final fixture written up. Mike Cullen against Salthill Knocknacarra at half time.
Brady again, sorry, Eddie Brady's coming down from the clouds with the O'Neill size 5. He needs some help, he has to be careful. Hand passes in towards the corner. Burke takes it, backwards inside it goes. Inside it goes. McCabe now settles it down, goes a little bit behind. We're all watching on, Hardy rubbing our eyes in belief here, disbelief even. It's just been frantic. We can hardly get the words out to describe what is going on here at Pearse Stadium. A game that we build up to the last. We thought it was a dead rubber at half time. Salthill Knocknacarra were out like the blocks in the first half. They absolutely blitz Corofin to one side, but now it's Corofin knocking on the door with a lot of velocity, a lot of momentum. They trail by 2. All the things remain the same though. There's 23 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Corofin in possession. Over on the right-hand side they go, under the lights of Salthill. They cut back trying to get an opportunity. Can they get the runner? They do. They're coming forward here, moving through the hands. It's quick hands still in that right corner forward position. Back they go to the wing, just shy of the 45. In centrally they will come now as well. This is like Corofin from the ages. Just like the sides used to go back and forth. That was normally in Tuam Stadium, Eddie. But here, under the lights of Salthill, with Rox Cohn now coming onto it straight away. He's already got one. He puts it over on the right-hand side. Corofin looking for a reset. They have a swarm of bodies on the 45 here as well. Looking for some movement. Backwards they go towards midfield. Paddy Egan now picks things up. Kieran Malloy's across now with centrally. He gets possession of the football. Mike Farr now. He's certainly pulled the strings in the second half. He's almost standing position. Then boots it over on the right-hand side. Where Corofin now with their captain Dylan McHugh will try and drive forward. Short little hand pass backwards. They're keeping possession. Farrer is remaining the option a little bit deeper. Salthill now sitting on their own 45.
Big passage.
This is a huge moment, you feel, Eddie. If Corofin can milk a score out of this one, they will take the roof off the place. They'll make it a 1-point ball game. It comes across now towards Conor Carson. Carson off the hands. There's movement here with Brady. Picks things up on the 45. Left-hand side. Solos forward. Needs some help. Still going. Finds an option. Here we come again. The shot comes in. Shot goes up. Shot goes over the bar. It's a 1-point ball game in Salthill with 5 minutes to go, Eddie. What is going on?
Best team scorer the whole afternoon. What a score. Patrick Egan, I think, finishing up. But again, Kieran Brady laying it on to his midfield partner. What a turn of events. Like we touched on, it was all but over at half-time. I think the Corofin supporters would have even acknowledged it. It was freak stuff. What a turnaround. The rules can bring that back, but again, it wasn't even the 2-pointers. They've just been so dominant.
Brady
so
again.
Dominant.
He is a magnet to the football. The scoreboard, 115 Corofin, 116 Salthill Knocknacarra. 26 minutes almost gone on the clock, but it's Corofin on the attack, looking for an equaliser. Yes, I said an equaliser. Murphy in possession of the football. Backwards it goes towards Farrer. How good has he been in the second half? The old dogs coming to the well at the utmost time. They've seen it all. They've won it all. They still want more. Mike Cullen await in the county final in a couple of weeks' time. Corofin, though, can they get an equaliser? Can't do in the front. They're on the attack on the right-hand side. Still the way go through. Is there a foul? Referee says no. Onwards they go in towards the corner. Shot comes in. It's short, though. It's short. And O'Sullivan is so grateful to get possession back. Salthill, their turn to counter-attack. How big of a moment will that be, Eddie?
Yeah, it was probably the wrong option forced, and they've been so economical in the second half. It's such a sequence as 3.5 minutes on the clock. Salthill possession is paramount at this point. We saw Corofin held the ball for about 3 minutes the last time. They're making a change here. I think it's going to be Robert Walter who's going to come off, and they just simply need fresh legs and someone to get hand on the ball. If Corofin tie this game, you'd have to think they're favourites to win it from there.
Yeah, it is Evan Nolan introduced. Rob Walter departs. Clock as fireworks go off on the prom. There's fireworks on the pitch here, lit up under the lights at Salthill. Saturday night under the lights at Salthill, and it, by God, has it delivered. Corofin trail by 1 though. Salthill Knocknacarra lead by 116 to 115. Thompson possession of the football. They need a bit of oxygen in their lungs. They need to get a score. They need to hold phase of possession. That they do, and they've been punished. There's a breach here. There's 1, 2, 3. What's the decision going to be? I think, what have the officials done here?
I say that looks like he incorrectly called the breach, I'd say, because one of the Salthill men was behind his man, so there was actually, in fact, the 4 back.
Finian Hanley is looking around in absolute disgust. His side were on the attack. Well, we've had it all, Eddie.
Yeah, I think it was a genuine mistake. When I looked down, it looked like the Salthill man was directly behind the Corofin, so obviously Chris Ryan hadn't spot that. And to be fair, he allowed the sequence. Salthill now have the advantage. They basically have an indirect possession.
So they're free.
I don't
on
think
the
they'll be able to shoot now, but Robert Finnerty has it in his hands.
Yeah, he's in from the sideline. He's going to have to pass this one. It is indirect. Chips it in towards the corner. It's not quite keep the ball situation here as well, but we're looking on the clock. 28 minutes, 11 seconds in the second half. Salthill Knocknacarra, who absolutely dominated the first half, but now their lead is just 1 point. Yes, just 1 point. They do have vital possession of their football, and now they hold it Across they go on the far side there, called Sweeney, holding on to proceedings. Over towards the left-hand side, patience, cool heads. Everything that they practice on the prairie needs to be delivered here now.
This is where the bit of magic you
Charlie
need from
Power going for a difficult effort. Has he got it in? He's put it wide. He's put it wide. They were all going over in the first half, and it's still a 1 point advantage for Salthill and Knocknacarra. 116 to 115. 29 minutes gone on the clock, and Bernard Power will restart.
Yeah, I think that's only their third wide of the afternoon. Just shows how efficient they've been. And you're waiting for maybe one of the county players to get it on the loop. Unfortunately for Charlie Power, he took it and hit it to the right and wide. Bernie Power, we know how good he is.
I'd say, sorry, Eddie, I'd say this is going straight on top of Kieran Brady.
I'd expect so, yeah. And based on the dominance they've had in that sector in the second half, you'd expect, like, Maher is a big loss for Salthill. Such a big loss. At the time when he was going off, you were thinking you'd have sympathy for him missing a county final. They were so much in ascendancy, but for now, again, they've really missed him. But they've won this break, which is a big win.
With Sweeney, won a vital ball from his side. He meanders his way through the lot and puts a fine ball in towards the corner. Tomo gets it on the loop here. He's already got a stunning score already in the second half. Now they need to keep patience. We're looking how much will be added on. We've 20 seconds or so of normal time. Salthill Knocknacarra, they're just about clinging on to their lead. It's down to the minimum, 1 point. 3 minutes of addition time about to start in 10 seconds. So 3 minutes to go here. Can Salthill Knocknacarra, can they hold on to things? A long time to go. They're in front of the sideline now, where O'Flaherty gets it. He was absolutely immense for large periods of the game. Now they need to show clever heads, and it's no surprise to see Thompson now in possession. Now Finnerty gets it. Finnerty now just strolling his way forward. Corofin need to put the pressure on, and they move it through the hands. Corofin need to be careful. It's still Finnerty on the 45 on the right hand side as Corofin trying to go through, but Finnerty's dropped the shoulder beautifully and Solo's into middle. Now he's bombing forward, tries to buy the free, gets the free, and as good as the scores that Robert Finnerty has got all day, that's probably his most pivotal and important moment of the game.
Yeah, big moment here as well, because do they allow Donald O'Sullivan come up and stroke for a 2-pointer or hold possession?
Well, O'Sullivan is coming on a little bit of a trot here.
Me, I'd be probably going for possession, to be honest, with 1 point up, but
well,
you'd have to think probably
they're looking, trying to get a 2, make it a 3-point ball game. 3-point
ball game, but it's a high risk, high reward, because if this goes wide, Corofin effectively have possession to nail an equaliser.
Well, we didn't think it would come down to this, Eddie, but it has in injury time. We've played a minute out of the 3.
Yeah, they've gone short.
They did after all the falls thrown. They indeed, it probably worked in the fact that Corofin put some on his body's back, waiting for the pick.
And
the one in around
30 seconds as well, yeah, which is, I suppose, important in the context of 1 point game.
So possession absolutely paramount right now. It's in the grateful hands now of Salthill Knocknacarra. A minute and a half of the 3. Corofin need to try and force another turnover. They've got a lot of those in the second half so far. Salthill Knocknacarra in the corner, but they found half a bit of a space here. And look at the opportunity inside. This could wrap things up. It's punched high. It's punched over the bar. Salthill Knocknacarra, they lead by 2. All of a sudden, it's a punched effort through the crowd. It's worked brilliantly. A quick slick hands tapped over the bar. And how pivotal will that moment be? Goes over the bar, puts up 117 now for Salthill Knocknacarra.
Big score. Evan Nolan, he just came off the bench now and showed all the maturity, and it showed going short from Donald O'Sullivan. It was the right decision to do.
You
now,
call it,
2
Eddie?
points. 2 points is a dangerous
But look at this, Eddie. Look at the space here. Corofin trail by 2. They're over on the left-hand side. Do they go for a 2-pointer or work 2 ones? They have an opportunity here now as they keep on possession. Over on the right-hand side, they look like they're trying to force a turnover. There's 32 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock. There's about a minute to go. It's like an NFL game. One last attack, but it looks like it will need to be a 2-pointer here as Malloy gets it, scoops the ball in field. Where they keep on possession now.
They probably need to get their shooters in the 2-point range, or else go for 1 and push up on the kick out.
Farah now.
What they might do.
Will he go for it? No, it's McHugh coming forward. They've worked an opportunity. It is a goal. It's volleyed. It's saved. It's scrambled. It's wide. Oh my days. Finny Hanley has his head in his hands, as is all of Pearse Stadium. O'Sullivan with a big save. It broke out. It was volleyed, but it went wide, Eddie.
Jonathan, I have never seen such drama. Liam Silk, I think, on his left foot, but what a save from Donald O'Sullivan, and it looks like It could be over. He's asking for the ball. The game is over. Salthill are in the county final.
Knocknacarra have done it. 117 to 115 in the most bizarre game of football you'll probably ever see in your life. Eddie, have you ever seen anything like that?
What a game.
114 to 4 points at half time, and in the end they're hanging on by a thread.
What a game of two halves. Corofin, though, county champions, the tradition in that club, they were never going to let up, albeit I'd say their supporters, ourselves here in the press box, would have said it was game over at half time, but they showed the characteristics of true champions. They weren't going to let Frank Fox up, and that's what makes it so precious. It makes it so hard to win a Frank Fox, is what you've witnessed out there. They were all but bet at half time, but came out and gave such a performance in the second half. Such a performance of champions. And Salthill, to be fair, when they were up against the Kosh, they showed that composure to just see it out in the end, and albeit a little bit fortuitous, but a massive save from Donald O'Sullivan.
Dare I say it, Eddie, to summarise up the most bizarre game of football, I'll go with this point. It lived up to the hype.
It certainly did, both games. Second half of the first game, but this game as well. What an occasion, what a spectacle for Galway GAA. Everyone going home, I'd say. I think Gaelic football is the winner here today. Under lights in Pearse Stadium, it has lived up to the hype. It has lived up to the bill, and I think Paul Bellew and all the guys involved who took the chance on this and got criticised by some, I support it. I thought it was a good idea. They've gone with it and reaped the rewards. I think everyone leaving will have enjoyed them 2 games of football, and the last 5 minutes, what drama, but just shows how hard it is to get to a county final. You need a bit of luck, you need things going for you, and Salthill again showed that bit of composure at the end.
Eddie, you know where this is going, so I can run down and try and grab one of the Salthill crew through the swarm of bodies that have just descended on Pearse Stadium. Your man of the match.
Again, Jonathan, at half time we were picking a Salthill player. It looked like they were home and hose and all, but had to fulfil a county final fixture in 2 weeks' time. For in the Corofin side, I think second half, Jack McCabe kicked 6 points. He was outstanding, to be fair. Dara Silk kicked 1-2, and Dylan Canny was quite prevalent as well. Kieran Brady was outstanding, to be fair, in that second half. He just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. Reminded you of a Kevin Walsh type performance. The ball stuck to him. On the Salthill ranks, Robert Finnerty right from the off was really outstanding. He was excellent, so he was. Robert, I think, two point frees in the first half, kicked 1-5, 1-6 in total. Tomo done well with the point when he came on. Charlie Power excellent in that first half. Both kids played well in the first half too. Mark Mannion, I think I touched on Daniel O'Flaherty. He was excellent as well. Kicked that massive 2-pointer, which ultimately you could say might have been the winning score in the end, or Mark Mannion's also. But for me, I have to go with, we can't forget as well, Donald O'Sullivan, match-winning save at the end. And that decision-making before, in injury time, that they decided to go short, that ultimately could have won it. And who came up? Evan Nolan, a sub with the score. My man of the match for the second game, I'm going to go with Robert Finnerty. He was quiet in the second half, but he still nailed the score, had the maturity to go short with that free. 1-6 in total. Robert Finnerty's my man of the match. And to be fair, on the balance of play, I don't think Corofin will have any complaints. They were really true champions. We touched on Gary Delaney and Jerry McGowan. What a good pair in there to be involved, and they'll have a big say in next year's championship. But today is Mike Hullen and Salthill Knocknacarra's day. You see a massive crowd of young kids around, which is great to see. Finian Hanley, John Boylan, and them, his management team will, Sean Armstrong, Norman Costello, they'll be brimming with confidence for 2 weeks' time, but they'll know Mike Hullen are there, and both teams are there on merit. We have to think of John Maher too as well, who went off there in this first half. What a player. John is a great servant, an all-star, and hopefully he can recover in time for that county final, because you want the best players playing in a county final. But for me, Robert Finnerty, man of the match, and well done to everyone involved in today's spectacle. I think anyone that paid €25 into Pearse Stadium got value for money, and anyone that tuned into the stream, I'd say, got value for money too. Football was the big winner, so well done to all involved.
I think that's the summary. Galway football is the winner here as well. It is alive and kicking. What a county final we have to look forward to. I'm going to go down the swarm and try and grab Rob Finnerty out of that heap of bodies there as well. But it's Salthill who progress to the county final. But just about. It has been a fascinating doubleheader of action under the lights here. Saturday night under the lights, as dramatic, as entertaining, and as enjoyable as you could possibly ask for. Eddie, Kevin, everyone else involved in the stream, thank you for watching. Leave you with some highlights, and we'll be back shortly with some reaction. Lights, he's now on the orange, and Shane Curley's happy that we can proceed with the action. Looks like a push straight away. They coming together there. Mandy way straight through. The ball has come back. It's recycled. Shot comes in straight away from a difficult angle. Oh my absolute days! Just a yard past the right hand side post. Looks like he's going to put the foot through this one, and it's curled over beautifully. And what finish now, spins around. He's on the 21, recycles back to Daniel Flaherty. He's usually good from this situation. He strikes with the left. Oh, have a bit of that! It's won by Salthill Knocknacarra. Now onwards they go, driving forward possession. Back on the right, the shot's been taken. Oh, have a bit of that, the scores.
Which is unusual for Corofin.
So here comes Finnerty, the All-Star nominee. Hits it high, hits it up, and reach for that orange flag straight away. No, they've just gone.
Kick out again from Donald O'Sullivan.
Yeah, it was brought on there by Colin Sweeney, and Maher, who won the ball, is down the ground. Sumo scoops the ball up. Here could be a goal scoring opportunity if they can put their way through. Backwards to go. Happy take the shot, the goal into the back of the net. We said Salthill had started good. We said falling around the house is going to hang up a little bit more. Might break dangerously. Spatted away cleverly. Comes across towards Charlie Power. Will he go for goal? Flashes it over the top of the bar. Usually he would have a breeze in his face here, but it's calmness here as Finnerty lets fly. And Finnerty, the second it left, he's an opportunity here. Try and get the shot away. Shot has been taken from a difficult angle. Is this one going to go over? It certainly is. Just listen. Down his familiar inside the left position. He's going to go for two. Daniel Flaherty from downtown. Daniel Flaherty. Converted by Dylan Canny. Strokes the ball over the bar, but it's just Corofin.
Chip this over from Dara Silk, and there's 5 minutes at a time, and you'd have to think at this stage that'll put 11 in it.
Now they move it across, Mannion across, shoots for a 2-point effort. This one might be short. No, it's gone over the bar. Talk about a score. Inside they go, trying to work an opportunity. It's almost embarrassingly easily. Shot comes in from Power. And up and over the bar. Tries to work his way back on his right foot. Comes back now, he's been forced around the corner. Shot comes in. This one's going to tail, it's over the bar. It's a fine score.
13.
Short has come in, dangerous. They need a goal off the top of the crossbar. It's up for a point here in the left side. He's going to try and strike this off the hands. Oh, he squeezed it over beautifully. And after the ball in field, all the way over on the byline, shoots from a difficult angle, have to squeeze it in. Oh my absolute days. How?
Back into it, doubtful, but Salthill and Finian will make sure that they try and let up, because they're.
Dylan Canny squeezes that one in.
Jack White in the All-Ireland final, right from the off, he's been at it.
Here comes an opportunity though. Comes across to a Can they get a goal? Silk into the back of the net. They're not going away, you know.
Out to Jack McCabe, them slick hands, you know, and it opens up everything. Evan Rinn was right on his shoulder, but he opened up the space, and that's another nice score.
Malloy, a dummy back on the left, back on the right, going for a 1-point effort. Kieran Malloy has put it up. Do not go home yet, folks.
Side with Evan Wynn as well, and now it looks like an easy score for McCabe.
McCabe with the left, squeeze it in, squeeze it over the bar.
Flip this over and put the pressure on. Bernard Powers kick out, and that'll put, like you touched on, 6 points, 6 versus 4, and momentum swing.
It's it off the shoulder, and now they're coming forward with Dylan McHugh backwards on the loop. Shot has been taken. This one might be low, is it? No, it's over the bar. It flies. So Corofin over towards the right hand side as Corofin with fresh legs now trying to charge on. Shot comes in from a difficult angle. Shot goes up. Shot goes over the bar. Away from them. McCabe with a big kick off the hands, centre zone, strikes it, puts it over the bar. It's halfway down to the left hand side. Solos forward, needs some help, still going, finds an option. Here we come again. And the shot comes in, shot goes up, shot goes over the bar. They're in the corner, but they found half a bit of a space here. And look at the opportunity inside. This could wrap things up. It's punched high, it's punched over the bar. Salthill Knocknacarra.
Let's go for one and push up on the kick out.
Farrer now.
What they might do.
Will he go for it? No, it's McHugh coming forward. They've worked an opportunity. It is a goal. It's volleyed. It's saved. It's scrambled. It's wide. Oh my days. Finian Hanley has his head.
Let's go for one and push up on the kick out.
Farrer now.
What they might do.
Will he go for it? No, it's McHugh coming forward. They've worked an opportunity. It is a goal. It's volleyed. It's saved. It's scrambled. It's wide. Oh my days. Finian Hanley has his head in his hands, as is all of Pearse Stadium. O'Sullivan with a big save. It broke out. It was volleyed, but it went wide, Eddie.
Jonathan, I have never seen such drama. Liam Silk, I think, on his left foot, but what a save from Donald O'Sullivan, and it looks like it could be over. He's asking for the ball. The game is over. Salthill and the county final
have done it. 117 to 115 in the most bizarre game of football you'll probably ever see in your life. Eddie, have you ever seen anything like that?
What a game.
114 to 4 points at halftime, and in the end, they're hanging on by.
The award-winning Blackrock Cottage in Salthill Galway.ie.